Twin flames. Infinity. Please understand one crucial thing. You would never have met your twin flame in this lifetime if a relationship with them were impossible. If you have met your twin, this is your time to join in earthly physical union. There is in fact only one lesson involving your twin flame, and that is that the universe is infinite and nothing is impossible. This is why union with your twin seems impossible. It is so you push yourself to learn that anything can be overcome, and that there are no actual obstacles. This is the whole point of spiritual awakening and ascension. You came here into this physical body to be a co-creator of your reality. You are a unique expression of creation, experiencing life from your specific and unique point of view. You are meant to create union with your twin flame, with your specific self-imposed limitations. Creation is viewing the world through your eyes, and it is learning through you. Instead of continuously focusing on the problem or the reasons you can't be together, focus instead on creating the solution. That is what you came here to do. You will know you are focusing on the solution because the corresponding emotions will feel good. And on the contrary, you will see when you are still focused on the problem when you begin to feel bad, sad, and hopeless. You will know when you are aligned and on the path to union when you are feeling good. You must continuously choose good-feeling thoughts and solutions regarding your union with your twin, and you will be led right to it. Everything you could ever dream of is available to you. All you must do is come into alignment using thoughts and feelings that complement your desire instead of lingering in thoughts that create resistance. Resistance keeps you out union with your twin flame, nothing else. Merging your twin flame will be one of the strongest, most powerful connections in your lift. And it may also be the most confusing and difficult ones too. There is only ein twin flame, and not everyone he met theirs in Thar 14. But you will know immediately once you come are them. The connection is so pure and fiery, they will feel strongly funker to you. It will the fring one that sares you and excites you at the same time. You are left bertand yet, there is a stens end of you. There will be complete chassand yet, you will fred at peace. A meet at if you canst be spart, but you cannot be anther either. The cannot first with them, but you can't live without them. You feel as though nothing on replace the emptiness they leave behind, and they sense this same empty-nem, and they are on their way back to you every time. Even though the world trying to pull apart what the universe cures should be together, they can ranite many times in a lifetime. Tain flames on be the biggest purados because they are literally the other half of your sad in another person fighting to exit sport, and simply canst win. Flame relationships are often very sexual. This has double purpose. On one side, the strong attraction between counterparts will push them to do their inner work so that can be together. On the other side, the Kundalini energy that we share with our twin is highly sexual, and thus it is as natural for us to feel a strong urge to unite with our twin flame on all levels as it is to exist. Once the Kundalini energy is fully ascended, we enter inner union with our twin flame and the Holy Spirit, and this is experienced as a blissful, orgasmic experience. Garniciousness. Since our twin flame is the masculine, feminine to our feminine, masculine, the sexual bond is just as natural, innocent and strong as the magnetic and electric bond between the cosmic masculine and feminine. Forever united in an embrace of love. The secret to your twin flame union is complete honesty with yourself and your counterpart. You cannot manifest a divine union with lies, cheating, betrayal, etc. The foundation of this relationship is boiled on divine truth, which begins with yourself. To collapse the dark feminine, dark masculine, you have to accept the degree to which you feel dark have felt dark about yourself. Pain, infliction, and separation consciousness are manifested from lying to yourself over who you are. If you're trying to be someone else, you're not only energizing Surgising Separati, you're weakening Gala's grid, which stands against the very principe of you being a light worker. Any timeline you manifest out of lying, cheating, betrayal, jealousy, etc. will only keep you apart and in separation from God. Hence your counterpart. Your really worry on the twin flame journey is not your counterpart, but your own ascension and purification of your soul to align it with union. Those of you who have spent your lives recreating someone chi reality will reject your union timelines the most, as it triggers you to be honest with yourself. You have to stand as God in your integrity to claim your union. Get honest with yourself today and let go of the mask you wear, instead of projecting it onto your divine counterpart. Let your twin flame go, believing that you are supposed to be there for your twin's physical self, while they are having their life experience without minding much about you, is highly disempowering and rooted in codependency. You are not meant to spiritually guide your twin flame, heal them, or help them awaken. Your only paper in this relationship is to root yourself in self-love and acceptance, to take care of yourself and awaken yourself to your soul consciousness, which results in you embodying your soul's song, purpose, and service. Whatever else you might be telling yourself is your ego trying to sustain itself by believing you have to do more, you still have to heal and such, ultimately convincing yourself of still being incomplete and therefore not worthy of divine union and unconditional love. My love, you've never stepped out of paradise. Don't let the rational mind trick you out of the perfection of this present moment. Come home to yourself. You don't need your twin flame's physical presence in your life to be happy. You don't need to know what they are doing, thinking, saying, or feeling. You don't need to save, heal, or guide them. You can truly let them go. They'll be fine. We are all guided and we are all finding our way, so there's no need to worry about others. When you meet someone that you share a soul contract with, the pull will be undeniable and irresistible. Irrespective of the circumstances, obstacles, or reasons why you couldn't or shouldn't be connecting with one another, the agreement etched into the ether between your souls will align you against all odds. There will be instantaneous familiarity that leads to a deep, unshakable curiosity and the need to know the other. It is as though your souls are saying, "Remember you from some other place and time, and I need to know your name and face and identity in this lifetime, because I recognize your energy so strongly." Logic does not apply. These connections involve such an intense transfer of energy that these waves of energy overpower the ego mind and therefore often cause us to act or think in ways that others may. Twin flame telepathy is one of the most mystical and, at times, disruptive aspects to the twin flame connection. It is not something we do with each other, but something that simply exists between us. At all times, twin flames are energetically connected through 7 chakra centers, with the strongest kant of connection being at the heart. Because heart connection is strongest of all between insane emotion experienced by one twin is transmitted to the other via the heart chakra kand binding them together. The greater the intensity of the emotion, the faster travels to the other twin, and the more strongly and consciously it will be experienced by the other. Telepathy between twin flames is quite single the energy transfer that occurs between them. When something is transferred energetically, it is then picked up through the subconscious mind, energy fits, and then interpreted through the conscious mind via the 5 senses. This means twin flame. Telepathic messages can be transmitted through any of our 5 senses: touch, sight, smell, taste, and hearing, as well as through extrasensory modes, sudden intuitive knowing, flashes of mental images, thoughts, sterilely hearing their thoughts. Voice in our twin flame relationship is one where you share the same soul or energy. Simply put, you are representing 2 halves of a soul, one representing masculine, one representing feminine, regardless of your individual genders. Your mission in sharing a life together is for deep and universal healing. Often your mission includes changing old ideas, paradigm shifts, transmuting of energies, etc. Instead of a normal dating, getting to know you life, you often immediately jump into deep healing work, usually on yourselves first, including past lives that you had together. The sacred twin flame reunion calls for you to let go of all egoic responses so you can immerse deeply into love and ecstasy. Meeting with your twin soul brings about an internal spiritual revolution, a deeper connection and understanding of the divine and the universal oneness. This is the greatest gift of knowing your twin flame runners are running. They see you. They run because of the worry that they cannot heal themselves, cannot change, that they will fail, that they do not deserve love. Running can be described as a refusal to communicate effectively or not at all, hot and cold behavior, keeping the chaser at arm's length, cutting all ties, denying there is a connection, pushing you sway out of self-sabotage, acting appallingly to make you become the runner, starting or staying in safe relationships with others, being consumed with addictions to distract the mote. One of the greatest twin flame lessons that are learned and endured is the lesson of cultivating love without physical contact. Whether we have spent several months or a few weeks only in the bubble love phase, true twin flames who are absolutely loaded to the rim with energetic and emotional karma will inevitably have to endure the stage of separation in order to balance their energies properly. This is the excruciating stage whereby twin flames who Strugg once couldn't bear to be without each other for a second now find themselves spending months, even years, lost, longingly wondering what is to become of them and their life. Typically, this sets off a dark night of the soul for the twins on both paths. Though it is the chaser, or stayer twin rather, who can attribute their feelings of longing and despair to missing their life partner. The runner twin will also find that their life has been turned upside down, even if they do not know that this is because their twin has unconsciously activated their life purpose and consequently set off all of their triggers. Now, this realization of what has gone wrong is absolutely shattering to the stayer twin, as their twin usually rejects any and every effort for contact and reconciliation following that point. By this time, the stayer twin has awakened to all that this union means, and they find it impossible to cut the invisible cord that binds the two. Imagine knowing that you have found the love of your life, holding the knowing that they are perfectly, though imperfectly, scripted for you in every way, and knowing that they love you too, but for whatever reason, they appear to want absolutely nothing to do with you. Your marriage will slowly become more and more Marocane. You feel as if you are cheating on your twin-use. You will only have eyes for Rasuil, become Aulant's nothing to do onal act of love, regardless of how much you are for your spouse Asia Burson. They will never ever hold a candle to your flame. Your mind try and convince you of the unmade laws of marriage, but your soul and heart will put up the rigorous fight to this core value niche no longer serves you. How can I communicate to you that when you feel the terrible feelings of hopelessness, discouragement, despair, powerlessness, etc., it is precisely because your core self is feeling the opposite extreme of the scale, the wonderful feelings of self-confidence, the amazing feelings of self-empowerment, the incredible feelings of self-worthiness. You are experiencing the lows because your core self is experiencing always the high. If your core self is not experiencing the high, it is not possible for you to be experiencing the lows. If you really have to blame somebody for your depression, you have to blame your core self for this predicament, not your situation. Your feelings are caused by the high vibrations of your core self. It is only when you have fully comprehended the dynamics between your frequency and the opposing frequency of your core self will you be able to fly as high as your core self and be the master of your emotions. You're in the process of attracting the life of your dreams. In this space, we entertain the divinity of a natural flow. We enjoy what comes and we let go of what needs to go. This is the foundation for thriving without setbacks and sufferings. In the past, much of what you became attached to was based on ego, not desire, which is why you would manifest something and it would still feel off. Whereas now, you ask from a place of intention. By feeding your mind peace and your heart honesty, you get more of what you're naturally aligned with. You got so accustomed to being in survival mode that you inherited some of the traits that came with it. This journey has allowed you to become aware of those habits that are no longer in alignment with who you are. They were necessary then, and now you're actively engaged to let them go. This path isn't just about creating a luxurious life full of physical things, you're doing that too. But it's about ensuring an optimal state of well-being. This period of your life is forcing you to take on change. See, you asked for certain types of shifts, but on many occasions, you didn't take the leap when you were given the opportunity. Some doubt, fear, or comfort stood in the way. Eventually, your energy began shoving you in the direction of your purpose, and that kind of sudden shift may be abrupt and requires adapting to. But it's all in alignment with the energy of the things you've been asking for. Take it. The life you want is over this way. Most people will never know how much it took for you to create this space of peace for yourself. Most of them haven't even done it for themselves. Remaining in this space isn't just about seeking ways to be positive. Your mind and body will automatically do that if you allow them to. But the important role for you is to no longer entertain low-vibrating situations that take you off your throne. You've done a lot of work to get here. Self-love means maintaining it too. Anything that annoys you is teaching you patience. Anyone who abandons you is teaching you how to stand up on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Anything that has power over you is teaching you how to take your power back. Anything you hate is teaching you unconditional love. Anything you fear is teaching you courage to overcome your fear. Anything you can't control is teaching you how to let go. Student Master, how can I be one step ahead of my core self? I feel, as always, many steps behind my core self. Master, you have to know the frequency, qualities of your core self in order to be one step ahead of your core self. Your core self is always optimistic. Your core self is pure love. Your core self focuses only on the positives. Your core self is pure bliss. Your core self never complains. Your core self never criticizes. Your core self is always in a state of loving appreciation. Your core self does not experience any lack of any kind. Your core self is pure joy. Your core self is always satisfied. Your core self is always peaceful. Never seek approval from external sources. Everything is impermanent, therefore, if you are relying on someone or a circumstance to make you feel worthy, this can be changed in an instant. If you give the power to others or things outside yourself to make you feel better, they also have the power to knock you down. You are giving your power away by letting things control your state, rather than determining yourself how you are going to feel and view yourself. You cannot live true to yourself by relying on others' opinions. Neither can you live a truly free and peaceful life if you rely on external circumstances to make you happy. Be grateful for any obstacles that are appearing in your life. They are indicative of change. They represent a shift from the norm, and you asked for massive shifts. You will adapt as you move further away from your comfort zone, because in aligned you will overcome anything. Don't cower, don't duck, don't get frustrated. Celebrate your empowerment to conquer. It sure beats a stagnant and repetitive life cycle. Make it a habit to call time out on yourself a few times per day. It takes less than a minute to center, ground, and adjust your mind and body. Sometimes, just recognizing that you're overthinking is enough to snap you out of it. In that moment, release the tension from your body as well. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, stretch a little bit. Doing this a few times a day requires almost no effort, yet it can be the fountain of youth and peace that you continuously seek from outside yourself. Start listening to yourself when you're giving advice to others. Those messages are usually intended for you as well, because everyone around you is a projection of your life. You have all this useful knowledge and wisdom within, but it's time to start implementing it into your experiences. Your advice is what is resonant within you. Use it to be both the teacher and student all at once. The most important message of your life. Your wholeness is intact and cannot be reduced. However, this truth, this reality, is irrelevant to you when your perception distorted. You truly are has been of who nothing needs to change except your perception. Changing your perception allows you access to a different reality. You are currently under a spell that you are not whole. To overcome this trance, this spell that you are currently under, you must first be aware that you are currently under a spell that you are not whole. Awareness that you are under a spell is the first step. Restoring your perception to its pre-distorted state is the next step. In a blinding flash, you will wake up and emerge unscathed from the self-imposed spell that you have been under the physical self and the core self. The polarity of the core self is positive. It does not change at polarity. The polarity of the physical self depends on the thoughts, can owing either way towards the pulive negative polarity. When the physical self that tare are present and polarity or towards the quings toward the negative polarity, the one consciousness has splitted left twain, causing the physical I self to experience a loosening connection to the core self. 100% energy can no longer flow to the physical self. The locks of connection lion generals creates feedback in form of unpleasant emotions for the physical self-co that it will have to change its current polarity back to the positive if it won't to feel good again. When the physical P self quings back toward the positive polarity, the two become OV again as a result of the merging of T2 similar frequencies. The physical self is now able to receive 100% energy again as connection